afternoon and welcome to the University of São Paulo. On behalf of our rector, Professor Carlos Gilberto Carlotti Jr., I'd like to extend a warm welcome and express our gratitude to all of you for joining us today. On behalf of Professor Paulo Nussensweig, Provost of Research and Innovation, I want to thank the presence of the other provosts of our university. We are honored to have here Mr. Ruben van Graaf, Director of the Netherlands Point of Entry, which is part of the Netherlands Enterprise Agency, the executive branch of the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Climate Policy. This is a great opportunity for our students who want to pursue a career in Netherlands. The Netherlands is one of the most innovative countries and has many companies that are active all over the world, including in Brazil. They are seeking talent for their global business and are looking for diverse teams. Diversity is an important topic for these companies to succeed on a global stage. And I'm sure that the University of São Paulo has the talents and the diversity that the Netherlands Point of Entry is looking for, because we are an institution dedicated to fostering academic excellence, and we are always eager to explore opportunities for collaboration. This is the first Netherlands Point of Entry event at the University of São Paulo, and the aim is to make this a fruitful collaboration because we believe that collaboration is the key of addressing complex challenges facing our society today, to advance research, promote knowledge transfer, and develop innovative solutions to pressing global problems. Today, 2 letters of intent will be signed between the University of São Paulo and the Dutch parties in order to create a programmatic approach for international talent development. I would like to thank once again Mr. Van Graaf for providing this opportunity to our students, and also would like to thank the government of the Netherlands for the visit of the Prime Minister, Mr. Mark Rutte. We look forward to exploring the opportunities for collaboration that lie ahead. I wish you all a very good event. Thank you very much.
Boa tarde. Good afternoon. Bom dia. I just checked on Google how we say good morning or good day in Dutch, and it's amazingly close, right? So I'm Paulo Nussensweig, currently Provost for Research and Innovation here at the University of São Paulo. And as Professor Marli Babinski already said, it's a great pleasure to have the Netherlands Point of Entry addressing an audience of our students. Most of what Marli said is precisely what we believe in. We believe our motto of the University of São Paulo, Scientia Vinces, means to win through knowledge, to conquer through knowledge. And this means a universal international endeavor. So we aim at educating our students to the highest level of international standards and to interacting on an international scenario. Right now, Professor Carlos Carlotti, our rector, president, Professor Maria Arminda Nascimento Arruda, our vice president, vice rector, have started a series of initiatives that are completely in lock with what is being discussed today. Inclusion, diversity, having an an academic environment in which we are at the same time different, but with similar goals. This is apparently what is being looked for here in terms of the Dutch, the Netherlands point of entry. And a second task is to accelerate our agenda in participating in innovation. Another task that the Dutch are bringing over, and in which they are role models worldwide. What does it mean to foster innovation? This is something that we've been studying, we've been learning along the past year at least, fundamentals of innovation and how we should improve our governance in order to accelerate innovation. What is it about? It's about a body, an organization which is devoted to the pursuit of knowledge, which is devoted to the sharing of knowledge with society in general, to establish stronger ties with the society that encompasses the university. We are part of society. We have to connect more and more with the external sector beyond the university walls. Why? Because today's economies are strongly based on knowledge. Knowledge is the most fundamental resource for prosperity. And if we don't, as academics, join forces with external entities, governments, business, third sector, non-governmental organizations, in order to solve the challenge that we have in society today, we are not fulfilling our role. So the Netherlands has a lot to share with us in terms of this vision of how we connect the academic sector and the external sector in order to promote knowledge, in order to promote economic prosperity, in order to promote social prosperity. We are fully committed to this, and we are also fully committed to doing this in an international setting. So it's a huge pleasure to have Mr. Rutger de Graaf. Yeah, so the last name de Graaf. I'm a physicist, so we know very well Van der Graaf. So it's an extreme pleasure to have him here. Welcome. I hope our students will enjoy interacting with you. I hope we will be able to share talent with Dutch companies, and we will be able to also receive Dutch talent in our companies. So thank you very much.
Thank you all for having us here. It's been a pleasure, so thank you, USP, and especially Marley and Paolo for doing the introductions. Thank you. Welcome all. I'm really happy to see you all here in it's a full auditorium, so wonderful. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the opportunities in Netherlands, especially for students of USP. Well, meet the team. We have an amazing team of 8 people, and 2 of them are here, and they can raise their hands. It's Kim there, and in the back is Iris also. Now, what about the Netherlands? We're first going to start with a short movie. Well, as you could see, we as the Netherlands want to solve global challenges together. So we need you. As the Netherlands, we have 18 million inhabitants. Compared to Brazil with 200 plus million, we're a small player. So we need to act together. It's not the Netherlands, we need you to solve with us certain global challenges. Well, the Netherlands is located within the European Union. It's really central located. I believe there are 2 to 3 direct flights every day from the Netherlands to Brazil, on São Paulo, on Rio de Janeiro, and I believe Fortaleza. Within the Netherlands, we are a testbed for innovation. The Netherlands has a really connected economy. It's a gateway to Europe, but a lot of innovative products can easily be tested. Think about one of the things, Bluetooth, I think most of you will use it, is originally a Dutch innovation. And maybe you don't even know about it anymore, but VHR, like the tapes on video, or the CD, all came from the Netherlands. Well, the Netherlands is one of the most connective economies in the world. And you have to understand we have a big port. And that also connects us to Brazil, who also has a lot of ports where we can do international trade with. The Netherlands is just as, well, to be honest, Brazil overtook us last year as the second largest exporter of horticultural goods. We always been the second, and the United States was first, but last year, well, Brazil beat us. But again, we are really small, and Brazil is really large, so it's not a problem to us. We're really happy with it, but it gives a lot of opportunity to work together. Well, and then something else. The Netherlands has, next to the Dutch language that you will hear a lot, like the it's difficult, I know, but we are relatively good English speakers, and most of the country is able to communicate in English. That's also a negative sometimes, because if people want to learn Dutch, it's really difficult to learn, because most Dutch will, on the moment they see you're struggling, they will change the language to English. So when you're in the supermarket and you're doing your uttermost best in Dutch, well, then the chance is big that somebody will just switch the language to English. And I advise all of you, if you're ever in this situation that you want to learn Dutch and somebody changed to English, to just be blunt and tell the people, please do it in Dutch, just try it slow, and they will. Well, why the Netherlands? One of the best locations to live and do business. It's a combination. And later on this presentation, I will look in a few of these indexes and examples. But the Global Safety Index, the Netherlands scores relatively high. Basically, there are a few bad neighborhoods, but you can just easily walk around, bike around, move from city to city without ever thinking about your safety. The healthcare, we have public healthcare, just like Brazil. What is pretty good organized. You have an insurance policy that basically covers all your medical treatments. Then we have a relatively high medium salary. The cost of renting a house compared to your income is really good. You have good education system, and secondary labor ruling are really nice. For example, the days and the amount of time you get off when you become a parent. And it's a funny thing, but last week they published the ranking, and we were always number 3 in the world of, in this, but we are now number 1. And I will get to that in a short moment to show you the indexes we use. But the Netherlands, it's a high quality of life, safety and secure, and again, it's a multicultural society. So as a Brazilian, you probably don't even strike out. Nobody will know you're not Dutch or that you're Brazilian. On the moment they start talking to you, that's probably the moment they will realize, oh, so you're foreign. And then the second question will be, where are you from? And when you say Brazil, I'm afraid they're going to think about 2 or 3 things, but one will be soccer, most definitely. And they will ask you if you know all of these players from Brazil that played in the Netherlands. Yes, they will. And secondly, they think about music, rhythm, dance, something. And at third, they will think about, their food is so much better than ours. So, and that's something you will probably miss if you go ever to the Netherlands. your food. Again, the ease of communication. I think all of you will be able to really make easy connections because everything is in English for you. And again, even going to a supermarket will be in English, but also at work. Most of the big companies in the Netherlands, the internationals, they speak English in the teams. They do not communicate in Dutch at all at the moment. This is also because of the remote working. Teams got more international, so it's way more easy to do it in English altogether than in Dutch. The only time you will really realize that language is a barrier is when you go to a bar or when you go out to a festival, because then they will just try to speak Dutch to you. Well, excellent work-life balance. In the Netherlands, it's pretty common to only work 36 hours a week. That's considered a full-time job. And most of us do it at 4 days times 9 hours. So this is something you can always discuss within a company, but also within your internship position. It's really common in the Netherlands to have a good work-life balance. Next to this, world-class education. And I will show later on an example of that, that I was just outside before getting lunch, was talking about with Professor Paulo Nusselsek. And a bicycle culture. You have to imagine that, well, we had to travel in Rio de Janeiro, but also in Sao Paulo, and we're not used to plan time to travel from A to B within the same city. It's always 15 minutes, basically. So when we in Rio had a meeting from the city center to the expo, where we were earlier this week, it took us 2 hours. In 2 hours, you basically cross our country. Yeah, it's not a joke. It's true. And public transport is, I would say, relatively good, but according to my Brazilian friends, it's amazing because they're just not really used to this kind of public transport we have in the Netherlands. Trains go between the big cities rapidly, and the last-minute travel always goes by bicycle. Oh yeah, you will have to get used to bicycles. That's something that we all do, and we drop them everywhere. So you will trample on them. Okay, I was talking about this. This is the index, and as you can see here, we finally beat the Danish and the Swiss. But again, I think most of our neighboring countries, and most of our European countries really score really high on them. It's an index that looks at the purchasing power, so what can you buy from your income, the safety index, how safe is it to just go about, the chance you're getting robbed or the chance you're getting mugged, healthcare index, how good is the public healthcare, the cost of living, how expensive is everything compared to what I can buy, the property price to income ratio is really interesting. This means that how much of my income do I spend at rent or housing? Yeah, and this is something I just explained, the travel commute time. I bike every day to work. It's like 15 minutes. And I'm considered to live far from my work. So imagine that. Then the pollution index. We have relatively clean cities, so that's really nice for if you go for a run or bike. And the climate index. Well, some fun facts about the Netherlands. We are the tallest people on the planet. Can you imagine that? If you look at me, no way. However, you will see later on walking in some people from the Netherlands, they will be tall. Well, most of us speak English, 29% also speak French, and I believe 5 to 8% speaks Portuguese, what is not that much. Spanish is 24%, so that's relatively high. Oh yeah, if you start speaking Portuguese, they will think you speak Spanish, so they will change, but tell them they're wrong. What's really important for us, we're the 5th happiest country on the planet, means also to do with the work-life balance. And secondly, we're the 2nd innovative country in the world. Meaning new innovations, new things that come to market, and our research institutions. Well, now let's get to it. Dutch employment opportunities. At this moment, we have more job vacancies than unemployed people. Meaning that even if we would get all unemployed people to work, there will still be jobs open. So we cannot fulfill the openings in the Netherlands. For every 100 people working in the Netherlands, living in the Netherlands, there are 120 jobs. So meaning will always be, based on every 100 people, 26 openings that you all could join us and learn and have an experience. So this means really an opportunity for you. Well, our government decided to focus on a few key sectors. So internationally, we want to collaborate on these fields. We believe that the Netherlands could make a difference in these fields and should focus its energy and attention towards them. Well, horticulture and food is one of them. Energy is a big one of them. Life sciences and health, another. Creative industries, but also high-tech. Just a question to you all. Do you know about ASML? Any of you? Hands, please. I see 2 hands, but I know all of you have a device in your pockets that is made by this company. ASML makes the wafers that is needed to print semiconductors. So every chip that's in your phone is produced by a machine made by this company. Meaning that you all have it in your pockets, because you all have a smartphone or a laptop in front of you. Then logistics. As I mentioned, we have a big hub as a port in Rotterdam, but also next to that, we have neighboring countries like Germany, where we have a lot of canals and waterways to navigate and roads. Then the chemical industry. We're also really active with Brazil on the chemical industry. One of my colleagues will later on join you and tell you more about that. Then the horticulture and the plants industry. We produce them a lot in greenhouses, but nothing compared to what you can grow in just the nature here. And last, but for sure not least, the Netherlands is really good at water management. We are at some places underwater if we wouldn't pump the water out of the soil. So the Netherlands has a traditional relationship with water. And I believe you can learn a lot about this from us. Well, this was what I was just talking about with Professor Paulo. We were talking about quantum communication, and the Netherlands, with the Research Institute of the University of Delft, scores really high on this. And he mentioned he would go maybe to visit and to see if there are any collaboration opportunities for that. The Netherlands also grew the last year some interesting, large, new companies. They started as small companies in the Netherlands, real startups, but they really fast took off. And I think most of you know a few of them. I think handsforbooking.com? Yeah, that's what I thought. And what about Adyen? Because Adyen is really big in Brazil as well. I see a few hands, but most of your payments, if you do a digital payment with any company, any airplane company or whatever, it goes to on a visa, you think, but basically it uses the technological infrastructure of Adyen. Well, then we have MessageBirds all the way to the bottom, and you know about those 2-factor authentication messages you get, like these text messages? That's done by this company. Short movie again.
Once I came here, I found out that a lot of events take place here, and a lot of big companies that we use on the day-to-day there, they are actually based in the Netherlands.
So in Quick Cargo, we have more than 10 different nationalities, and it's great for the company, great for the discussions, great for the customers.
The international nature of the collaboration is precisely what makes some of the research projects valuable, because only then you can combine views and expertises from different countries, from different people from different backgrounds.
Yeah, the tech scene in the Netherlands is actually very similar and very competitive with the Silicon Valley, I would say. It's all about ideas, it's about innovation, and it's really about top talent. The greatest treasure of having an international workforce is the depth and breadth of ideas and the creativity that you find in working together with so many different cultures.
In the Netherlands, there are a lot of people from different nationalities. So life here is not the same as it just to be in Brazil. And if you're open to learn, you can learn a lot from everyone.
Amsterdam, it just feels like home. It's so accessible, but also it's okay to be different. Not everybody expects you to be the same. So compared to many other places where I've been an expat, you're not being constantly reminded that you're not from here.
My advice to anyone that contemplates to start a career in the Netherlands is get out of your comfort zone. Just do it. You're guaranteed a good quality of life with a solid income, a rich culture, and you have ample means to explore the Netherlands and the countries surrounding the Netherlands.
Well, there are different options for you all to come to the Netherlands, but there's the one in specific that's really interesting. And I'm going to start with that. Because you all will be one day, hopefully, graduates from USP. And for a top 200 university, what is USP worldwide? It's ranked in multiple rankings, a top 200 university. And that means that as the Netherlands, we decided, well, these people, we should give an opportunity to just join us for a year, to learn about the Netherlands, to work in the Netherlands, to explore Europe, and then bring all of this knowledge back to Brazil. So we designed what we call our orientation year for this.
Congratulations, you're a graduate. Now it's time for you to decide what's next. Will you kickstart your career at a great company, or turn your passion into profit with your own startup? Maybe you dream to change the world through scientific research, or something else entirely. Whatever path you choose, the Netherlands offers endless opportunities for growth, and the Orientation Year Visa is the best way to get started. The Orientation Year Visa gives recent graduates unique flexibility to pursue their ambitions. You're eligible to apply up to 3 years after completing your studies or scientific research from one of the many qualifying Dutch and international institutions. During your 12-month stay, you can work in any sector without salary requirements. Shape your future in the Netherlands. Learn more at nlentry.com.
So, the orientation year. It's valued up to 3 years after you graduate here for your master's, your PhD, or your MBA. And all of you that do so can just apply and will be granted this permit. You can just do whatever. If you want to work in a beach club a year long, whatever. If you want to work for one of these big tech companies, you're also fine. You are considered just as any other Dutch citizen. The equal rights, you're just equal. So there is no difference in the labor market between you and a Dutch person. No income requirements. It's valid for a year. And you can bring a partner if you want. And it's not only interested for you, but it's also really interested for us. Because a lot of our corporations really want to learn from Brazil. Because Brazil is one of the examples for us about diversity and inclusion in the tech scene that is way more advanced than the Netherlands. We see here way diverser teams, way more multinational teams, multilingual teams. It's for us an example of how you can learn from another country. Next to this, it's really interesting. Brazil is a large market. It's the largest market in South America. And for a lot of Dutch companies, it's good to have a Brazilian in the team to have the good perspective of how do they look at things? How would you address this problem? Okay, so normally everybody doesn't take out his phones during a presentation, but I would ask you to do so now. And you can scan this orientation tool, Visa, and otherwise use the bit.ly down there. But I can already guarantee you this is a tool you can check if your university qualifies, and USP does, so no worries. You are way high enoughly ranked to join this program. If it doesn't work, we checked earlier in the corners, it maybe doesn't work. You can use the Easily website. It's case sensitive, but it's bit.ly/NL/USP. Well, if you then decide to use the relocation year, Then we also designed something else.
So you are planning to relocate to the Netherlands. There are a lot of things you have to take care of. Have you thought about residence permits, registration, housing, and healthcare? Welcome to NL Relocation app. We'll provide you with a step-by-step checklist, so you know what to arrange before you move, once you arrive, and when settling in. How does it work? To use the app, go to the Welcome to NL website and select which situation applies to you. You will get different information based on where you are from, the region you want to live in, your work, and family status. In the app, you can find information and handy tips. If you have questions, the app will connect you to your local international centre, government agencies, and service providers for help. We hope to see you soon in the Netherlands.
Well, my cousin is from Fortaleza, and she used this application to see how it would be, and she really liked it, so I was really happy with that. Working for a company in the Netherlands. Well, there are a few options. Even later on in your career, or after your orientation year, you can get the highly skilled migrant permit. This means that an employer in the Netherlands will sponsor you. And this has some good things. For example, the 30% tax facility. That means that you will pay a fraction of the taxes that Dutch people pay, and that makes it more interesting. You will keep more salary in the end. Next to this, it's also family friendly, what would mean that your partner can work free on the labor market also. Most of the companies have this status in the Netherlands, for sure all multinational companies. I will later on show you a job portal where you can find all of these opportunities. But maybe you want to work for a cool startup. Why not? We made a solution for that as well.
Attract the right international talent to grow your business without borders. The key employee permit enables Dutch startups to attract international talent. As the first European country, the Netherlands offers a visa that's based on employee participation instead of income requirements. A chance for both you and your hire to show that you're willing to invest in the future together. We evaluate your application based on your company's future potential, not just your past results. Whether you found the right key person abroad or you want to relocate your team to the Netherlands, the key employee permit enables you to unlock the talent potential of the world.
So this makes it, for example, possible for Brazilian startup founders who have an office in the Netherlands to hire international talent, what we think is kind of cool. Well, there are not much requirements. The most important one is that you get a certain salary and you get some equity in the company, so that you will profit from the growth of the startup company. Furthermore, no requirements. Same for the highly skilled migrant. The only requirement is a salary requirement. Well, here you get an overview. We have 3 big options for you to join. Well, graduation, and all of you are welcome again. Then employment through a company and as an entrepreneur. So if any of you thinks about starting up his own company or being an entrepreneur, feel free to connect to us and we can help you with extra detailed information about how this process works. You can do this as a startup or as a self-employed. Curious to learn more?
Are you internationally minded, open for a new challenge, and looking for a career opportunity abroad? Your future in the Netherlands. Are you internationally minded, open for a new challenge, and looking for a career opportunity abroad? Your future in the Netherlands starts at Welcome to NL. Learn more about our innovative industries, key technologies, academic career opportunities, and a healthy work-life balance in the Netherlands. Discover what it's like to live and work in the Netherlands at Welcome to NL.
Well, yeah, we made a platform, Welcome to NL. I'm going to show you the QR code in a bit, where you can also learn about other people who went before you, who went to the Netherlands, and who came back to Brazil, some working now for big Dutch companies in Brazil, but also vice versa. So please feel free to have a look at that. I think one of them is even here. I think, Rodrigo, could you, yeah? They started a company a few years ago in the Netherlands. Really cool. If you want to learn more, you can, after this meeting, always chat to him. Finding a job. Now take out your phones. This is maybe the important one. This is the big one. And if you can't scan it, it's again bit.ly/NL/job. What we did, because we know it's difficult to manage and to navigate sometimes, what we did is we clustered all English-speaking jobs in the Netherlands. So for all of these jobs of this platform, English is the dominant language. No requirement of Dutch. All of these companies are looking actively for international talent. So they have their openings internationally. They're looking for internationals. And they are really looking for applicants. So if you find anything that's interesting, if you find anything that suits you, know that after graduation you can look here for a job, apply from Brazil, and just start working. And believe me, don't be too shy. Don't be too hesitant. They will ask a lot of criteria. You have we want somebody with 4 years work experience. He or she needs to have this, that. The list is really long. If you meet 50% of that, just apply. Because there's a big shortage. They will ask for God, but are really happy with you guys. So just apply. Yeah? And if you have any questions about the processes in the Netherlands, let us know. One thing, for example, we learned, it's not common in Brazil that if there's a job opening that you call with a recruiter or with a HR person. In the Netherlands, we all do it. If you're really interested in a job, you just ask them a question. You just call them and say, hey, just was wondering, do you guys have lunch together? Did everybody have the chance to scan it or to write it down? Yeah? Awesome. Well, then you can also get always in touch with us. I would say, again, pick out your phones, scan the QR code. Brings you to our LinkedIn page. You can follow us, and you can ask us anytime a question about the process or anything you want to learn. If you want to follow us also on Instagram, then you get more like the cool pictures, and it looks all really good. But on LinkedIn, it's more like the business side, so you can ask us questions and get in touch with us. Well, thank you. Now it's time for questions. I have two colleagues here. One is there, Rodrigo, he has a mic. And at the other side is Tasha, she also has a mic. And I believe they also have a present for the first 5 people to ask a question. So up to you guys.
Hey, thank you very much for your presentation and for the event that is being organized. I've been with you guys on Friday, and I'm so happy to see you again and how things are specifically for students. My question is based on the fact that I'm going to the Netherlands this year for my PhD. I don't know if I am going to enter as a student or an employee. So I don't know which kind of visa I have to take. Still, I'm in contact with the university I'm going in. And I have this question because I saw that if you go as an employee, you have to learn a little of Dutch and you have an integration exam, something like this.
To be honest, you only have an integration exam after 5 years in the Netherlands, then you maybe have an integration exam. Otherwise, there's no need. There's no requirements at all, integration-wise. So only if you want to become a Dutch citizen after 5 years living in the Netherlands, then this would apply. And just to be correct, you said you are obtaining your PhD, is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Yes. From USP?
Not from USP, I'm getting my master.
Okay. A master from USP gives you access to the orientation year permit, what means that you can be free on the labor market. So you have a full year in the Netherlands to look for a job. That's it. There's no requirements, zero. Only the diploma. That's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oi. Hello.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Hello. How hot hat? I have two questions. One, I don't know. The first one, I don't know if it's with you or with people in USP, but I think it's an opportunity to have this answered. I would love to have Dutch language classes, and I would like to know if you are thinking about having classes here in Verflash, I don't know, Alcane, something, like regarding the Dutch language. And the other question I have is if I go there after the year I am graduated and I want to continue there, will I be able to do it, or I have to come back and then go back there if I want to?
Two questions. The first one, Dutch language classes, correct? The second one, do you have to come back to Brazil after 1 year? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, let me get into both of them.
Thank you.
First of all, Dutch language classes, really cool idea. I will ask my colleagues here if that's possible, that they can talk to USP what is possible in that regard. I know when you go to the Netherlands, we offer free Dutch language courses. So in the end, you better be prepared, so that's really cool, but otherwise you can always learn it in the Netherlands. Secondly, the permit is for 1 year. And we did this because we want to keep it exchangeable. So you do an experience, and then you bring that knowledge and that back to Brazil, so it's not that Brazil loses any talent. However, there are a lot of companies that maybe want to offer you a contract so you can stay in the Netherlands. That's a choice you need to make. Then you change your type of permit, that's possible, but the orientation year visa is for 1 year. So then after that year, your employer needs to sponsor you in this case. Does this answer your question? Awesome, perfect.
Thank you for being here. Should I decide to pursue post-graduation in the Netherlands, I will have to not only pay for the education, as I understand degrees in the Netherlands are not for free, and on top of that there is the cost of living. There may be scholarships, as I understand it there are scholarships, but should I be expected to take a second activities, an internship or a part-time job to pay for my stay there, or should I expect to take out a loan?
Okay, cool. I think you had double questions, so I will try to translate it. First, if I'm studying, can I work next to that? That's the first question I would say. The answer is yes. However, you can only work 20 hours a week because the rest of the time you really need to study. Come on. I mean, yeah. So with a student visa, you can work 20 hours, any job, anything you want to do, and next to that, you need to dedicate to your studies. The second question, are there scholarships? Is that correct what I said? Well, there are scholarships. For sure, all of our PhD positions are paid positions at our universities institutions. I didn't showcase this, but there is a website called academictransfer.nl, academic transfer. They show all the academic opportunities. So if any of you wants to proceed in academia, it's also possible. It's academic transfer. You can find all our research institutions there and universities that offer positions. Again, almost all of these positions will be in English, except, of course, Dutch language studies or something. But yeah, that won't work. Did I answer your question? Awesome.
Hi, I have a question about the orientation year. I'm gonna graduate next year, but I'm planning on getting my master's. If I finish my master's, do I get the orientation year more 3 years or just from the graduation?
Okay, so the moment you obtain your master's degree, yeah, that's the moment you have 3 years time to apply for the orientation year. Within this period, you will get it for 1 full year. So that's a pretty safe option. So if you finish after that another master's, you get another year. Yeah, so it's what we call the last degree you obtained, that's what counts. So if you obtained a master and then start a PhD, and you finish the PhD, then you cannot use your master diploma for the orientation year. But if you have your master's, you do the orientation year, after that you come back to USP, you do your PhD, you get another year. So then you have 2 years. I just heard our delegation is a little bit later. They apparently hit traffic. Well, welcome to Sao Paulo. So I'm really happy with your questions, guys.
Oh, hello. My name is Yaman, and I'm in my sophomore year in economics here. And thank you for your presentation this afternoon. So I was wondering if there are any age requirements for the orientation year visa, because I'm a little bit older than average. And also, I understand there are no income requirements, but do we need to show proof that we are able to cover expenses for the year we're going to spend in the Netherlands? Thank you.
These are 2 really good questions. The first, is there any age limit on any of these? The answer is no. No. If you want to start a study at 80 and you finish it at 85, you can still use it. So there is no ruling on age. It's all open. However, in the second, if you, after 1 year orientation year, want to get a job, if they hire you on the orientation year permit, there is no income requirements. So the next year, nothing counts. It will all stay the same. If you do not use the orientation year, so you did not graduate from USP, but you have no diploma and want to work with the highly skilled migrant, then there is some age. And the age rule is that under 30 is a lower salary requirement than over 30. And the big reason is most people over 30 need to take care of a family, or at least more people, so the income requirements are a little bit higher than under 30. That's the only thing. Then, yeah, you need to prove that you have some financial means to take care of yourself. However, that is really, really minimum. It's just to show that you can buy some bread, buy some drinks, and have a place to live. So I believe they only do a check that you can take care of yourself for at least a year with a certain minimum. And also here there are some options to get sponsored. But if you have want specific information on that, you can always send us an email and we can show you perfectly what the thresholds are. But I believe it's hard for me in reales, but I believe it's in euros, dollars, it's around 600 a month. There are more questions. Where's the mic?
I'm sorry. I got really interested in the situation of acquiring property in the Netherlands, like buying an apartment downtown in Amsterdam or something like that.
You said housing, property in Amsterdam?
Yes, a property, not necessarily in Amsterdam, but somewhere else.
Yeah, it's totally open. If you have this, what we call this orientation year permit, you can basically register at any municipality and buy any property you want.
Just gotta have the money and that's it.
Yeah, basically. No, yeah, or you have the job but you get the mortgage. That's also possible.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but yeah, there are no restrictions. Again, on the orientation year, you're seen as equal to any Dutch person. So there is no difference between you on the labor market or anything than a Dutch person. Basically, you're considered a European citizen. So also there, for example, if you have this orientation year, there's only the requirement that you spend 6 months of that year in the Netherlands. If you want to travel the other 6 months to Europe, want to visit all the other countries, be free. It's your choice. You can do whatever you want during that 6 months, during that year.
Hi, first, thank you for your explanations. My name is Bruno. I am an undergraduate student from this university. I study chemistry. And my question is about when I am applying for a job and if I get the position, the company may help me to pay for travel and to live there, something like this, because I think that usually students that are just finishing their courses, university, in Brazil may not have the money to pay for all the expenses. So does the company help us in any way?
Well, most companies do. But something we've seen quite recently, what they, for example, do is they hire you and they tell you, you know what, you can spend the first 2 to 3 months, stay in Brazil. We will pay you the European salary, you can save some money, and if there is a good click and we think you could be part of the team, then you come to the Netherlands to join us. In this case, you could save enough for the first months to... Other companies, more the big ones, they do the relocation. So they take care of your flight, they take care of your housing for the first months, they arrange everything. It really depends on the employer, but I think most of them have these options. And again, dare to ask. Ask them what the options are, because most of them will take care of that. Correct. And I just heard another question about the internships opportunities. Also on this platform, you find a lot of internship options. Remember that an internship is not it's not a job per se, but if any of you want to do a summer internship, that's possible. If the company wants to invite you to do that, it's really easy. With a letter of the company, you can apply for a 3-month internship permit, or up to 6 months in this case. Yeah?
Excuse me? All right. Good afternoon. I know that a lot of this project these things usually involve enterprises related to tech and science and things like that. But I was wondering, what about the cultural sector, for example, the audiovisual, theater and cinema and things like that?
Well, we have a special ruling for that. So we have a ministry that goes about culture, and our Ministry of Culture, they have special permits for example, dancers, or certain music, violin players, or anything in the painters. So there are different types of options there. However, a great example is the Museum of Tomorrow. I think it's originally from Brazil, from Rio de Janeiro. They opened, for example, an office in the Netherlands with a new company. And it's really a cultural institution. So yes, it is possible, but there are different tracks in this case. However, I know a few stories about Brazilian DJs. Yeah, they're really nice, they're really good. They have some different influence than most Dutch. So what they did is they used the startup visa, for example, to bring their productions to Europe, and they signed with Dutch labels. So that is also possible. I think we have time for 4 or 5 more questions.
Hello, good afternoon. My question is if there are periods to apply to these programs, or if I can do it whenever throughout the 3 years.
It's whenever you want, whenever you feel like. The only thing that's really important is that you graduate from the MUSPI. And for the
only after graduation.
Only the exact. No, just make sure you have your graduation date. And other thing is also really cool. We skipped quota. Before we had quota, like, okay, every year maximum 200 Brazilians, 100 Mexican, I don't know what. We skipped that because we saw that that is not an honest way of working in this case. So we just said, if you have the requirements, have a diploma from USP, you're fine.
That's great, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. De Graaf, for your presentation. I'm currently a PhD student here at USP, at law field, and I'm looking for a code to tell in the Netherlands. I would like to know if it's common to researchers that go to Netherlands stay there in research positions or lecturers positions. It's normal.
Yeah, it's really common. Again, you need to check academictransfer.nl. because there are all the academic jobs. So lecturer, assistant professor jobs, they're all there. And yes, it's common.
Hey, good afternoon. I was really just wondering if there's any kind of process for diploma validation in the Netherlands, since every European nation basically has a different process for that. And if you need to do so to pursue a master's or a PhD or any postgraduate program in the Netherlands. Thanks.
Did you say accreditation?
Diploma validation.
Yeah, you do, but I can guarantee it's just like we have a government body that will say your USP diploma is similar to. But again, I promise you, your USP diploma is valid, is seen as exactly the same level as any European diploma or European Dutch diploma. It's just master, bachelor, PhD in this case, and we just basically follow the same system. So if you get a master's here, that will translate automatically into a Dutch master's. Yeah, so no worries there. It's only that you... Okay, what we will check is if your diploma is really from USP. So basically we want to make sure that you didn't go to a copy shop, put a USP logo on something and hand it in to us. So that's going to be checked, but that's the only thing.
Hi, I'd like to know if we need English proficiency exam, if we need to prove that we can speak English.
No, you don't.
No?
No, you don't. But the companies that want to hire you will like you to speak English, but for the orientation year, it's not needed at all. Because the orientation you do not need an employer. So you can basically, there is no requirements except for the USP diploma, again.
So we don't need a document that proves?
Nothing.
Hi.
Hey.
Congrats for your presentation, and well, just a complementation of the colleague's question about opportunities for PhD. I'm finishing my doctoral here, and I would like to know about job opportunities in the Netherlands, because when I'm thinking about it, immediately in my mind comes postdoctoral opportunities, and I'm open to opportunities that come to me.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are for sure there. So if that's what you want to proceed, postdoc, you can find them on the platform. And again, academictransfer.com .nl has all of the postdocs listed in any subject. So we're going to share this presentation with all of you that were here today, and I will add the academic transfer link as well, because I see that there's a lot of interest from your side, so you can also get that.
Sorry, I guess that I'm not very clear. The main of my question is about jobs not in academic area.
Oh yeah, the portal is all non-academic jobs. So the portal I just showed you are all non-academic jobs. Okay. I will go back again. This is the job portal. All jobs that are listed here, over, 8,000, all non-academic.
Okay, so complementing the question of the colleague, it's not necessary to examine to prove English level.
Nothing.
IELTS stuff and
Nothing.
Okay.
No, there's no need. None of it. You don't need to prove your English level at all. No.
Okay, and about German, Dutch, or French languages?
None. If you speak them, that's wonderful, but it doesn't make any difference.
Okay, thank
No,
you.
there is no language requirement at all. Just none.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, 1, 2 more questions maybe? Yeah?
Hi, my name is Bruno. I'm a business undergraduate student here at USP.
Hey, Bruno.
I would like to ask if there are any alternative visas or shorter term programs for undergraduate students or students who just finished their bachelor degree.
That's a really good one, and the answer is no. If you finish we're going to change this. So from next year, also all USP bachelor students will be able to use it. But at this moment, it's only masters, PhD, or MBA, or doctors, or anything else. However, that's going to be changed. But as you know, legislation takes some time, so I don't dare to say when exactly, but I assume early next year we will have a change in the system, and also bachelors will be allowed, correct. Yeah, that's from the end of 2020, 2023, right? Yeah, so the end of 2023, we are changing this, I believe. But again, I cannot do any promises because it stays legislation and could take longer, I don't know. Yeah.
Hi. My question is really simple, but it is really important for me. I don't know for the rest of the people, but to apply for these programs, do our nationality matters?
No, any nationality. So whether you're Brazilian, Venezuelan, Bolivian, Uruguay, Argentinian, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters, you got your diploma from this university. There are some more universities in Brazil, but this is the only university that qualifies as a whole. So all faculties, all subjects of this university qualify. That's the only in the whole of South America. It's pretty unique. That's only because you publish enough as a university and have enough ranking in the Times Higher, the QH, or the Shanghai ranking that you are allowed to do this. So any study, if you studied cultural here or language, it's all fine. Yeah. You can use what we call the scraper I showed earlier. May you be from a different, here we go, where is it? If you're from a different university or studied at a different institute in South America, you can check whether or not your faculty or program is qualified. Yeah.
Hello, thank you for the presentation. You showed us like the main fields that offer the most opportunities in the Netherlands, but I wanted to know more about job opportunities in the communication field, like PR, marketing, advertising, because I didn't see much of that. And seeing as the cultural field in the Netherlands has been growing, especially like the fashion industry, Iris Van Harper has been all over the world recently. I wanted to know more about these job opportunities.
They are there most definitely. In the field of communication, for sure. Marketing, digital marketing also a lot. However, you need to look for them on the platform. I just checked earlier this week. With marketing, there are over 500 job openings in the Netherlands for English-speaking marketing jobs. So I don't think you have any problem there. I know there are a lot of companies struggling with sales. So sales jobs are also really common. So if you have a background in that, please look at the portal and apply.
Good afternoon. For people who have
Awesome.
For people who have two nationalities, like I was born in Brazil, but my grandparents are born in Europe, so I can have the European nationality. It's easier to go to the Netherlands or the normal visa, just as the student visa or the employee visa is as good as the other.
Yeah, if you have a European passport. How many of you do have double nationality or European nationality? Lucky you. Well, for all of you, it counts that you can basically take an airplane tomorrow, come to the Netherlands, and register at the municipality, and welcome, you're Dutch. That's it. Because within the European Union, we have free movement of people, goods. So there's no requirements there. You can move to the Netherlands tomorrow. The only thing you need to do in the end is find a place to sleep, and that's it. And then you register at the government, at the municipality, like, hey, I'm here, and that's it. Yeah, it's that easy. And to be honest, you can also get a lot of benefits then. For example, Remember, all of you are able to use the 30% tax ruling. That means that you will pay significant less tax than Dutch people. And yeah, because you live, I believe all of you live more than 140 kilometers from our borders. Yeah, so you're going to be fine.
Hi, goedemiddag.
Hoi.
I'm Louisa, and I was wondering about somewhat of the revalidation of your diploma when you're in the healthcare department, such as physiotherapy, or if there is any revalidation, or if you can go and just work from there in any healthcare department.
Well, that depends on your diploma. Is it a diploma from the university, in this university?
Yeah.
Yeah, then it's fine, because it's equal in this case. But if you do a specific profession, and then I have to say, if you are a neurosurgeon, for example, then you need to be part of at least a certain community within that field that is worldwide acknowledged, well, worldwide or within the European. So the Netherlands has requirements in that specific case. Same for nursing, but I think that all transfers. And again, if it's a USP diploma, you're fine. If it's a different diploma, you maybe need to get re-evaluated.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for the presentation. It's a big pleasure to be here. My question is, I've started at the law school this year. So my question is, how would this diploma be important after the graduation?
The companies support you?
Yes, this diploma
Yeah.
at the law school,
Yeah.
after the graduation, after I finish this, how would it be important in the Netherlands?
Again, do I understand it good? How would it be validated or imported, or what?
What would be important, the law school, the diploma of the law school in the Netherlands?
Yeah, exactly. If you have a diploma at the law school in Brazil, it will just translate to a law school diploma in the Netherlands. However, there will be a different kind of law underneath it. So I think most companies in the Netherlands will only hire you when they have legal issues with Brazilian companies or with Brazilian government. So, last Friday we had a big meeting at KPMG, what has a big law subject also within the company. They work internationally, so they could hire you and then send you to the Netherlands or to any of the other countries. But it is possible, but again, if you specifically learned, for example, civil Brazilian law, then it's quite difficult to get that translated into Dutch law. However, you would be able to work for companies that work with Brazilian companies again.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the presentation. My question is about the bachelor's degree. Because most courses here in USP, we get a bachelor instead of a master. I would like to know if, because most courses in Europe, master degree, they have like a tax for a fee that you have to pay monthly for the European citizens, and one for like non-EU. I would like to know if in our tuition year we could, how would it work to try to get a master's degree in Netherlands?
Yeah, that depends whether you're not a European citizen or not. So if you have a nationality, Italian, Portuguese, Spanish, and it's really easy, you get a lower tariff. If you do not have that, if you're pure Brazilian and you want to study at a Dutch university, you can either or use a scholarship that will lower the barrier, or you pay the tuition fee for non-nationals, and that is higher. I say higher, what I mean to say with that is it's higher than the Dutch pay, but the Dutch pay almost nothing. Let that be clear. And compared to a university at Oxford, Cambridge in the UK, or a university in the United States, the fee is still really low for top universities. So it really depends on how you look at it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. Yeah, my name is Gustavo, and nice to meet you. Thank you for the presentation.
You're
So
welcome.
I have a prior degree in engineering, and now I'm pursuing medicine here at USP.
Yep.
So since there is some extra requirements to practice medicine, can I apply to the program using my prior diploma?
Yeah,
look for
based-
positions in engineering.
Yeah, based on your diploma, you will be fine. You can get the permit, but then if you want to be a GP or want to do a specialization in a Dutch hospital, you will need to do a certain test to prove that your level is equal or comparable. So that's true. There will be another check, but you can still use your orientation year in this case for that. Yeah.
Any more questions? Is there anyone that we just didn't see? Aha.
Hello, thank you.
Can you help me even? Hm? Ja. Ik kom er snel. Ik kom er de volgende aan. Okay, yeah, go. Yeah, well, sorry. I just got the news that they are on their way, so I assume they are here in 2-3 minutes. Last question then. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you for being here with us today. I'm pursuing a career as a naval architect, but there is no such course as naval architecture in Brazil. Is there any pathway that I can go to transfer my course to an institution in the Netherlands that has naval architecture?
Yeah, this is funny. Yes, it is possible. So you can take, for example, if you do a minor at USP, you can take those points to a Dutch university. However, it depends on the individual university, how they validate it and how many credits, ETCS, they give to it. But it is possible. And I believe a few Dutch universities have even exchanges with USP. So they already have this in place. So it's relatively easy to look it up and to know how it will transfer.
Okay, thank you.
Wow, perfect. Well, thank you all so much for your questions. Lovely to see so many of them. May I introduce Vice President of the University of South... Okay. Apparently, I'm too early. Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, who has another question?
I'll go there. Just give me a second because I'm a bit far.
Hi, my name is Bruno. Thank you for your presentation. It was really awesome. I'm graduating at the end of this year, and I'm really interested in the program. But I mean, how safe would you say that it is to me to plan or commit to search for a job and apply for this for the next year, because it's in case it doesn't work, it would be if I commit and it doesn't work, it would be really hard on my personal life. And
yeah, yes, but imagine what I said earlier before. We have for every 100 people, we have 136 openings at the moment. So yeah, maybe a job in your specific interest area or what you studied will be hard, but using your orientation year, you can also just get another job next to it. Let me just say, you can get a job at a bar or a restaurant or anywhere and at least earn a decent income so you can sustain yourself and start looking for that other opportunity. So basically, worst case, you live a year in Europe, you think, well, I'm not going to find the job I was dreaming of, but at least I save some money, I travel, or I do whatever I want. So that's an opportunity you can still seize. That's why it's all open. There are no requirements. And the minimum Dutch salary is still relatively high compared to the minimum salary in Brazil.
No, I mean to ask it that the program isn't open yet for bachelors, right?
Correct, correct.
So how safe would be to me that I'm graduating as a bachelor in engineering to invest in this for the next year? I mean,
Yeah,
for
I would not wait on it. I would just do your masters, to be really honest. But yeah, it's a possibility. Well, I think the delegation's coming in. May I invite Vice President of the University of São Paulo, Maria Arminda, to the stage? You're more than welcome.
Obrigada.
This one is open, this one is closed. Which one do you want?
No, no, so only.
Yes, absolutely. I will sign.
You can sit.
Thank you very much.
Boa tarde. Good afternoon. On behalf of our rector, Professor Dr. Carlos Gilberto Carlotti Jr., I welcome the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Netherlands, Mr. Mark Ruth, the rector of the Delft University of Technology, Professor Dr. Tim van der Heijden, the president of the Dutch-Brazilian Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Daniel Geiger Campos, and all the public. I also salute the Deputy Coordinator of the International Cooperation Office, Professor Marli Babinski, my colleagues from the University of São Paulo, and authorities here present. Two letters of intent signed today represent an opportunity to improve our students' innovative and technological skills and to strengthen the international presence of the University of São Paulo. Nowadays, there is a few numbers of students exchanging between our institutions, and we have all the conditions to increase it. I hope this exchanging of students and scientists may happen under new joint research among our institution, the 4 Dutch universities of technology and the companies from Dutch. I also hope that this cooperation may produce world-class sustainable solutions and help to face our local challenges like provide our population access to better public service.
So you are planning to relocate
Now, I have
to the
honor
Netherlands
to invite the Prime Minister, Mark Rutte, to give us a speech. Thank you very much.
Dear Vice Principal, thank you for your hospitality, and I'm happy to be here at the USP campus. And it is very special to be here. I'm really excited about it, to see so many talented people sitting in this room. And I realized that this is the best university in Brazil. And of course, it makes me very proud that so many of you are interested in thinking about opportunities in my country. I know that you just had a session, I hope it was a good session, about the possibilities and the opportunities you would have in the Netherlands. And I hope that that session answered all the questions you had, or at least as many as possible. I believe Holland, the Netherlands, offers great opportunities to start your international career. We are an open country, an open economy, with one of the highest English language preferences in the world. We are in the top 5 of the most innovative economies in the world, and we have some really great companies to work for. I myself worked for 10 years in business in a big company before I went into politics. But it's also important for Dutch students to gain more experience abroad. So there is a two-way street, I think, and that could also be for them, for these Dutch students here in Brazil. International collaboration should always, I believe, benefit both parties. And that is why the Netherlands always tries to aim for that. So let's also bring more Dutch students here to Brazil. I was a student myself in the 1980s, and so much has changed, but particularly this, that it is much more normal to
attract the right international talent to grow your business without borders. The key employee
we collectively have gone through in the last decades. And that means that you, as USP students, get a chance to broaden your horizon and to study abroad, apply maybe for an international internship or even explore career opportunities outside of Brazil. In a few moments, there will be an official part in this ceremony, where the signing will take place of 2 letters of intent, one facilitating internships at Dutch companies, and one to enable USP students to kickstart their career in the Netherlands and with Dutch companies in Brazil. As you know, innovative and thriving economies need talent. It is nowadays probably the most sought-after resource of companies. So make use, I would say to you. You are the future, so make use of this opportunity and broaden your horizon. And before we go into signing, I would like to ask Tim, and Tim van der Hagen, as you know, is the boss of the president of the University of Delft, which is one of the 3 technical universities in the Netherlands. We are extremely proud that, and he thinks it is the best of the 3. I'm prime minister of all the technical universities, so I have no preference. But he might very well think that, and he might even be right, I don't know. But I would like to ask him a question before we go into a signing, and that is how you think, how we can best create entrepreneurial opportunities for these men and women sitting here and contemplating a follow-up of their student days in the Netherlands. Please,
Okay.
Tim.
Thank you very
and
much.
After, please, a resounding applause for my speech, and then you will give your reaction.
Yes, Thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to be back at USP, and especially, of course, for the signing of this letter of intent. And it's an official part of today, that's true, but of course much more important is the content of what we're about to sign. And as you may know, our cooperation dates back from the 1990s. And over the years we've exchanged students, undertaken joint research projects, and organized business development competitions, among others. And at TU Delft, one of the four at Delft University Dutch University of Technology, we recently signed an agreement to further extend this to include dual degree PhD projects, perhaps something that's also of interest to you, and the joint development of education. I believe that at this point in time it's important to investigate how we can step up our joint activities even further. More than ever, you've just heard that the Prime Minister saying, the world needs socially responsible engineers with the skills to work in innovative industries. And many of our students here and in the Netherlands are very talented, like yourselves, as well as passionate about sustainable engineering. However, we could still improve the way in which we link our training programs to the industrial skills needed of the future. By creating new opportunities for internships, for instance, we may provide you and them with the right industry experiences. This will give companies in Brazil and in the Netherlands better access to the talented and skilled professionals they need. And thus, in the end, it will benefit the innovative ecosystem and ultimately positively impact society. I look forward to discussing this further in the coming period and to our continued fruitful cooperation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Madam Vice Principal, if I may ask you the last question before we go into the signing, into the ceremony protocolaire of signing the two letters of understanding, of intent, sorry. How can we, in your view, best create this partnership between USP and the Netherlands so that we create these opportunities for students both ways? Please.
Thank you. Thank you for your question. I'm sure that the cooperation between USP and the Netherlands universities is very important. But I'm sure that Professor Paulo Nussenswein, our Provost for Research and Innovation, and the President of the International Cooperation Office, Marli Babinski, will coordinate the next arrangements, and I think that both are important to add some comment. Thank you, Prime Minister.
Thank you.
Well, I'd like to say that the University of São Paulo has already many collaboration with the universities in Netherlands. We have lots of co-tutel programs. We have many students going to Netherlands to finish their studies and PhD and master collaboration. So I think this definitely is going to improve even more the collaboration that we have already with the Netherlands.
Professor Paulo Nussenswein, Provost of Research and Innovation.
So I can speak for my field. I'm a physicist. I work in quantum information science. And we are very active in Brazil, and the Netherlands are extremely active, as we are well aware. There are collaborations. We've had, early this year, end of January, beginning of February, we had a workshop here in Sao Paulo to design a roadmap for quantum technologies in the state of Sao Paulo. And not only did we receive 2 researchers from the Netherlands who came to participate in that workshop, actually, none of them are Dutch, but 2 are working with universities in the Netherlands and companies. And there's also a 3rd who is a Brazilian who is located in the Netherlands and also working in this field. And I think just today, I learned that there will be an event in the Netherlands in June. I will be spending a week in France, and apparently I'm going to make a hop over to Amsterdam to take part. Yeah, unfortunately, it's already going to be hard to squeeze in the trip to the Netherlands. But I want to say that we are very appreciative of the efforts in quantum information technologies in the Netherlands, and more than eager to work with you.
So now we are going to move to the signing of the first letter of intent between the University of São Paulo and the Federation of the 4 Technical Universities in the Netherlands. And then we move on to the signing of the second letter of intent between the University of São Paulo, Dutch-Brazilian Chamber of Commerce, Dutcham, and the Netherlands Point of Entry. And that concludes the ceremony.
Gente, temos uma ótima oportunidade em mãos, certo? Com o visto agora que vocês têm permissão. Muito obrigada para todos que vieram. Eu espero que vocês aproveitem. E qualquer dúvida pode procurar não só nós que estamos com a camisa, mas também o pessoal do governo holandês. E, tá bom? Muito obrigada. Agora é isso.
Ciao, ik zie jou. Tot vanavond.
Okay, we are going
Você já teve a sensação de estar trabalhando e de repente ter uma vontade de dar só uma olhadinha no celular? E de